everyone, and welcome to part 3 of Fallout New Vegas stealth build playthrough. Last part we acquired our 3 stealth boys from Goodsprings, and now we're going to be making our way to New Vegas Strip. But before we do that, we're going to be tackling going into Sloan. That's a small town east of here, of Goodsprings, and hopefully get a couple items that we need. The main thing we need is the repair skill book. Now normally I would not recommend taking skill books till after you've got comprehension, which is locked at level 4. However, in this instance I will be taking it, so I'll be getting one less skill point, but that's okay. I need to take this in order to get the perk that I need at level 2. Now, as I said, it's east of Goodsprings, so it's right about here, so I'm going to put a marker here and try to make our way as swiftly as we possibly can. Hopefully we don't run into any enemies. If we do, we've got the Wither 10mm pistol with us. And okay, yeah, we've got something on our compass stick over there. Again, my perception's not so high, so I do not have... Oh, and here's the screen there that actually gives you the ability to edit your character if you still need to. I am okay with that, so I will continue to carry on. So yeah, I think that's a coyote over there. That's okay. We'll just leave that alone, and we will continue onwards. Now, Yangtze Memorial's coming up right over there. That's okay. I am not too interested in what is held over there. Again, there could be bloatflies over that area, but nothing too crazy that I should be concerned with. So we'll again just walk through. So a couple, okay, coyotes here, and we're just gonna go ahead and kill these guys. And I'm not really interested in their hides, meat maybe. Okay, well I'll take the hides as well. Okay, moving on. So, oh, and here's sort of like a warning, telling people to stay away of death claws, because death claws are up ahead. But unlike the last warning sign at Goodsprings Cemetery, this one, the death claws are nowhere nearby. And we are in caution again. And because my perception is not super high, it's at 5 I believe right now, so the enemies with higher perception than myself may be able to detect me before I can detect them. That's okay, not a big deal. We can always just kind of skirt around those guys the best we can. And again, just gonna find this road and try to make my way. Yeah, road right there. And there's some loot in that truck, I think, but that's okay. We don't really need that. And I think there's a powder ganger camp right up ahead, so but that's okay. You don't really need to access those guys just yet. In fact, those powder gangers are right there. They should be non-hostile to me because I haven't really actually, well, done anything that they know of. I've actually killed Joe Cobb, but that's okay. Under this bridge there is this Bright Brotherhood robe, this Bright Brotherhood follower. We're gonna take his stuff, because why not? And right across from here, excuse me, we'll be able to come up to Sloan. Okay, perfect. So Sloan is an NCR town, and they should be neutral with us. That's a good thing. You don't want to be engaging into combat here. The purpose of coming to Sloan is basically to access Workers' Barrack and get ourselves the skill book, as I mentioned before. The skill book has to be stolen, so be mindful of anybody that may be looking at you. So yeah, currently we are detected by this guy. That's okay. And steal. Perfect. So that was duck and cover stolen, and now I just need to steal these electronics. Again, I am being watched by this guy right now. So we can always grab it by hitting Z on our keyboard and take it somewhere private. I guess behind this guy. If we would like to look away for a second, we should be able to grab it. Oh, and another person just joined us. I feel like we're stuck here. And done. So that's basically what we wanted. There's some other stuff over here as well. There's an easy lock, but I'm not going to attempt that right now, simply because I'm trying to keep my EXP in check. Oh, I did not pick up Duck and Cover. Okay, I must have picked up the Scorched book. Okay, no problem. Let's try that again, and done. Okay, again we've lost karma, but that's okay. We were not caught, and that's what matters. So again, the faction reputation system would let us know how we're doing. In general, again, yeah, it doesn't give us a reputation right now in any faction, so that's good. Nobody's attacked us, so that's perfect. And now over here, if you go to aid, and again, we killed those two coyotes, so we got some EXP there. So again, keeping an eye on the EXP bar over there. So again, my repair skill right now is 31. Once I take this, Dean's Electronics, it will be increased by 3 as it's seen over here, and now it's 34. My hope is that once I hit level 2, I'll be able to put around 11 points into repair, get it to 45, and immediately take the perk Light Touch, which I should be taking in level 2, because if I do not, it'll constrict my opportunity in taking additional perks that I need to take. Since I'm restricted to level 30, I have only 15 opportunities to take perks. The next skill we need to be focusing on is speech, so whatever is left over I'll be putting into speech, and hopefully that'd be enough for the early speed checks within the game. Now, there's a bunch of quests here that you can do. I'll probably be coming back and doing those quests. I'm not so interested in doing them right now, simply because, again, trying to keep a watchful eye on that EXP bar right there. So, but we could talk to this guy if you wanted to. Well, okay, actually he'll just talk to us. Chop Lewis. And he'll speak about Deathclaws, how they've stopped, prevented them from working, how they moved in, they lost their dynamite and whatnot. So you can indulge him and talk a little bit about that. So he'll explain. Okay. So I'm just going to fast forward this. You could take the mission. It's an unmarked quest. That's okay, but again, you can't take them on right now because they're way over level and we cannot hope to survive against them or hope to kill them. We can engage in other dialogue as well, but what can you tell me about New Vegas? Okay, let's see this. So he believes that the New Vegas is a way to burn a month's pay in 5 minutes. I have a plan which will allow me to break the house actually, so I'm not too concerned about his advice in that regard. Okay, goodbye. So we'll move ahead. Now this is the point where Deathclaws will start appearing. So here is where the test actually begins. We have to be more careful going through this area, and this is the best way to actually make ourselves into New Vegas. So I'm just going to remove the marker here. That's Curry Junction, that's the Deathclaw Central basically for now. If you go down this path, that's the Black Mountain. We'll visit that later down the line when we get ahead in our playthrough. And we'll basically be taking this road all the way up here and until this area, until we reach this area right here. So we'll just set our marker here. That's everything in between that's danger zone. So we need to be getting past this area as soon as we can, as quickly as we can, and as stealthily as we can. So that's the idea behind this. And I cannot promise if I will or will not die. I may have to reload an older save just because the Death Claws have a very high perception. So even with a Stealth Boy, they may detect us, and they're always running around uh, with their claws out. So they may run into us even if we don't want to. And because our movement speed is not too high right now, we have to contend with lower speed, and we can't really make our way away from them as quickly as we can. So that's where we're at right now. The Stealth Boys are set over here, so I will just set them at number 8. That's what I normally do. And if my food situation is okay, yeah, I think we should be good. Alright, so now we don't have to take it right away because Death Claws are still ways off. So the first one would be like a young Death Claw, and this is sort of the last area. Last warning. Death Claws ahead, and they are not kidding. They are literally right there. So at this point I'll just go ahead and save the game, just because I feel that if I do not, I might end up dying a whole lot of times before I can get past this area. Okay, so I like to stay like this and then just hit the Stealth Boy button as soon as I... Okay, and go. So the idea is, again, I will try to stick to the rocks here, just to make sure that I'm able to stay away from as many Death Claws as I possibly can. Okay, so the game is not allowing me to climb up the rock. That's okay. There's about 4 minutes in real time to do this. So right now it's 1:33, so I suppose it'll be 1:37. At that point I should be able to the Stealth Boy will wear off. Okay, so I have to kind of move down here. But again, stick to the rocks. I think that's the best strategy that I've just discovered with the number of times that I've tried to do this. Sorry about the frame rate there. And yeah, we're still making our way up here. Again, the Death Claws can still easily make their way down here. It's not a problem for them. I don't see anything yet, but I'm fairly certain that I will shortly. Again, just keeping our eye on the prize, which is right there. And here, I think I'll have to climb down a little bit. And this is potentially where we start seeing our first Death Claws. Okay, nothing yet. Okay, so going further on, again, cloaked and hidden. So we're proceeding as planned here. And I don't mind taking the longer way just because it is safer. I would be able to cross this much faster if I were to take the shorter way, but that's okay. And so we've made our way, and there's a Death Claw over there, I believe, if I were to take my Withered. Okay, right there's a Death Claw, and right there's a Death Claw. Okay, so there's 2 Death Claws fairly close to one another, so we'll try to skirt by them if we can. Hopefully there's no further Death Claws around this area. This one's just kind of guarding this area right here, so yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, so there it is. So he is sort of aware of me, and now he isn't. So yeah, and there he is. So they can catch up to you pretty fast. So again, there, and there's more Death Claws over here. So, and of course I have entered danger here. So we shall try to stay hidden if we possibly can. If not, that's okay. We can retry this step. And it's gone to caution. And I'm still technically hidden. So again, these Deathclaws, they have incredibly high perception, so they can very easily detect us. And just gonna check where they are. Still in caution. So we have to step down over here, and just cause I want to be careful, I am going to hit another stealth boy. And the stealth boy wore off just as I was about to activate another one, so that was perfect timing. And just heading on our way to New Vegas, hopefully. This is, I think we are almost in the clear here. But yeah, and so this is the biggest problem at this point in time. The perks that I intend to take with this build, in addition to being stealthy, I also wish to be fast when I'm crouched and moving, so that I don't have to encounter like issues like this where I'm moving at a snail pace and I cannot put enough distance between myself and the enemy. I think that's very important. Okay, so that's our destination, sort of. This sort of line right here is our destination, so we'll continue making our way here. I don't believe the Deathclaws can follow us at this point, so I'm just going to put away my weapon, hope that I can get up this rock. And as soon as I can get to those sort of offices over there, I think we should be okay. I have encountered ants in this area, fire ants that breathe fire. Duh. But I was able to run away from them, so that was not a huge issue. And I'm just going to go ahead and quick save the game real quick, just because I fear that my progress, if I do not, may be lost. Okay, so we're going pretty good so far. We're come across, I think this is a farmstead right here. I would still like to continue sneaking because I do not feel safe enough that I wish to disengage my stealth. And I activated the stealth boy at 1:36:37, so I should still be good for another couple of minutes. So yeah, 1:39. So I should be good. Let's see. Okay, so before New Vegas, our goal is to get to Camp McCarran. Hopefully we can do that this part. Camp McCarran is one of the best ways of getting into New Vegas. There's several ways you can do that. You can get into New Vegas by paying the 2,000 cap amount. You can get into New Vegas by getting a passport from the king. And you can also get into New Vegas by getting a fake passport from Mick and Ralph's, I believe. But I think those ways, they require a lot of quests to be done, and I want to do the quests on my terms. I don't want to be in a position where I'm forced to do a quest. So by doing this, okay, that scared me for a second. By doing this, we're actually able to prevent. Okay, so there are, okay, so I have died. So this is another thing that I intend to kind of offset. Mines. Glad that happened actually, because mines will eventually, we'll be running into them, and we want to be careful of them. So I didn't have my sound on, so I kind of ran into two mines at the same time. And that's okay. So this build will also incorporate silent, light step eventually, so that we are able to not die. So I was hoping to kind of make this video without dying, but oh well, stuff happens, I guess. So this time I'm going to try to watch for mines without going to, by going to the first person view. It was unfortunate that we kind of ran into two mines at the same time, which made it so that we ended up dying really fast. Okay, yeah, I knew there were mines around this area, but I didn't think they would be so close by. So this time I'm going to try to keep around this area. So I know this path right here is okay to take. I generally try to stay on the other side, but that's okay. Okay, so again, quick saving right here. I also like to keep like a death counter, personally. It's just my pet peeve, like how many times I've died whilst playing this game. So that's one death. One death already. I was trying to prevent it. Of all things that could have killed me, I had expected death claws to actually get to me first, but that was not the case. I was able to prevent myself from being killed by death claws, and instead it was mines that got me. That's okay. Okay, so moving on, we are nearing Camp McCarran. We're getting pretty close, and I think the mines were set up by the NCR actually, because that's kind of their thing, and the faction that I wish to be a part of. They're the ones that are actually getting me, so that's kind of unfortunate. I think if I dump down this bridge, there are more mines that I could potentially run into. Stealth Boy has worn off, that's okay, hopefully. And I have entered into caution. There's a couple of enemies down there, so that's okay. And I have been shot at. Okay, not a problem. And we'll try to make our way as slowly as we can past this area. And I think there is an enemy behind me, that's okay. We shall try to get past him as best we can, hopefully without dying. And we should just run at this point. Hopefully there's no mine in this area. Oh, but there is okay, wow, I am taking a lot of damage. But this should be NCR area, so we should be okay here once we reach this area. So at this point I will go ahead and take some stim packs. Yeah, I'll take some stim packs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we have sort of reached our destination right now. We are pretty close to our destination, which is Camp McCarran. And there's the NCR right there, so they should be able to keep me safe if that person doesn't run away. Okay, another location discovered, Ellery Motel, and there's the Camp McCarran airfield. And so this is the best way, in my opinion, to getting to New Vegas, because you're able to take the monorail. And the monorail does not require you to pay any caps or anything like that. You just have to train the guards or sneak by the guards. We could use a stealth boy, but I'll try to do without it, without the stealth boy if I can. So let's just take a look at our condition here. We're good. So yeah, let's see if we can make it. So we don't have too many caps. We have one snow globe, and we'll try to get the rest as we play the game. Again, Camp McCarran has a lot of quests associated with it, but similar to Sloan, we can't really do any of those quests. Well, I don't want to do any of those quests till after. Okay, so we're going to be making our way to the concourse. Actually, I don't think it's the concourse here. We will be making our way up here. Monorail, right there. So it says so on the top side over there. And there should be guards here. Yep. A couple of guards here always, so I'm gonna just do a quick save here. And I like to basically speak by here real slow. They may detect you. Just stop if they do. Just keep moving on. If you find NCR gear, you're able to kind of wear it, pretend to be the NCR, and go that way as well. And beautiful. So we are in, and hopefully we do not get shot by the NCR. Yeah, we're still hidden, so that's great, and they do not follow us. That's perfect. And here it says take monorail to the strip, so yes, we will do so, and here we are. Monorail taken to the strip, right in front of the NCR, in front of their noses, and these guys do not care. They do not care in the least. And you shouldn't really be stealing anything from them. As we make our way here, he will speak to you about the fact that you're carrying weapons and all that. I don't want to talk to him, none of your business, and there you go. He'll be coming back here. This is the NCR embassy, and we will be doing some quests later down the line, once we have the time. Oh, and yeah, so he will also want to talk to you. And just ask, who are you? I just want to end this conversation. He'll just tell you to go and meet Mr. House. And yeah, so a bunch of quests added. Again, no quest was completed, so that's very important. So here, a bunch of quests have to be done over here. That's fine, but the first thing that I'm going to do is actually discover the strip. So, despite the fact that you're in the strip, you've not actually discovered the strip. So we'll just hit this area right here and discover it. And there's going to be like sort of a scene that will play. I want to be outside the firing range when it does. So I will just go over here. And the robots really don't care. There you go. Strip discovered. He wants to talk to you as well. I'll just say goodbye to him. We may visit him later down the line. And that's that. Yeah, I think I'll stop here and we'll continue with the plan with a future video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.